Hello everyone and welcome to the free and live jGive webinar sponsored and hosted by CloudAccess.net. jGive is a powerful crowdfunding extension that enables your members to create fundraising projects, to accept donations, and to keep donors updated on the project's progress. Now, whether you need to raise money for personal projects, for different causes, charities, business ventures, school events, or nonprofit fundraisers, jGive makes it possible. I want to thank all of you for attending today. Now, my name is Bernie, and I'm going to be your host and moderator today, and I work for CloudAccess.net. We are the official and exclusive host of the demo trial of Joomla at demo.joomla.org, and you can launch free trials of Joomla through our platform. Each demo trial is active for 30 days. You can upgrade to a paid hosting package and experience our insane support, where you can submit online tickets and call us directly to get help with your Joomla site. I want to encourage each of you to tweet at me during today's presentation if you have any questions about the CloudAccess.net platform, or if you have questions for your presenter, Parth. Parth is from Techjoomla, and he is the CEO of Techjoomla, and he is very active in the Joomla community. He's been working with Joomla since the Mambo days, but he also is part of the Joomla Bug Squad. He is a mentor at the Google Summer of Code, and he plays a key role in the Joomla user group in Pune, India. Parth, I'm going to say good morning, although I know it's evening there in Pune.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the webinar today.
So we've done a number of webinars with Parth, and I actually had the great pleasure of meeting him just last month at the Joomla World Conference in Boston, Massachusetts. But his company, Techjoomla, is behind some very, very popular extensions in the community, and it's a great pleasure to do another webinar with Parth. So please, again, feel free to post questions to me at Twitter, or find that GoToMeeting slide out question area where you can post a question directly to Parth and I will help moderate those questions to Parth during his presentation. I also want you to keep an eye out for a coupon. Parth is going to be offering some savings on jGive and perhaps other Techjoomla products today. I know he's going to talk about fundraising campaigns, campaign types, categories, filtering, and ordering. He'll talk about campaign donors and givebacks, rich text editors, donations and data capture, and I know he also he does a great job of putting together the presentations and offering some very valuable information about the topic at hand, which is fundraising. And again, stick around for the Q&A session, but I know Parth likes to pause occasionally during the webinar and answer those questions directly. Just a reminder to you that we are recording this webinar, and it will be available to you later today at youtube.com/cloudaccess. I'll show you how to access that YouTube channel a little bit later, but I'm going to go ahead and pass the presentation over to Parth right now.
So welcome everybody. Good evening, good morning, depending on wherever you are. And today we're going to be talking about jGive, which is a product for the complete donations and crowdfunding for your Joomla websites. So let's get started into the presentation now. So before I get into jGive, a little bit of something about Techjoomla. So Techjoomla is one of the leading Joomla extension development companies in the world today, and we have several interesting products for Joomla, ranging from Invitex, JBolo, Quit to Cards, Gmail alerts, social ads, broadcast, JTicketing, to name a few. A lot of Techjoomla products are going to help you monetize your website. So make sure you check them out. So let's start with this. Do you have a dream? Any kind of a dream? Typically, whether it's investments for an awesome new project or donations for a really good cause, or let's say you have a personal project that you would like to spend time on. At the end of the day, in this materialistic world, dreams are pretty expensive, and dreams need a great deal of money to take care of. So finally, it's all about money, honey. So whatever you do, you're going to need a ton of money to get that done. And what better way to do that by getting the community and people involved than crowdfunding. So this is where crowdfunding is going to come into the picture and help you get those funds to help you achieve your dream. So let's get started with what is crowdfunding first before we can see how jGive can help us do that. So in crowdfunding, everybody is going to donate or invest money to fund your dream project. So I'm saying donate or invest because typically for crowdfunding, depending on whether it's for a non-profit or it's for a project where you will profit, you might want to give something back to your investors. So funding and donations and investments, there is a fine line there depending on what kind of project you are running. It's the new way for artists, bloggers, musicians, software developers, activists to find support for their dream projects through online crowd donations. And this is where we hope that we can help you out. In crowdfunding, every dollar is going to count. We are basically looking at reaching out to a lot of people and get lots of investments or with a large volume of very small investments. So whether it's $1, $5, $20, $50, every drop is going to count when you're doing crowdfunding. So who can use crowdfunding? Non-profit organizations, creative people like artists, photographers, musicians, software developers like I'm sure there'll be a few in the audience today, business startups, medical patients, schools. So the list is endless. A lot of people can use crowdfunding to get their dreams achieved and help them through their problems or raise funds for any special thing that they're doing. Let's look at what are the keys to build a successful crowdfunding or donation campaign. So choosing the right crowdfunding site or building your own. Now this is a very interesting question. You might ask that when you already have something like Kickstarter, why would you need your own crowdfunding site? So that's exactly the question you have to answer. Depending on what kind of project you're running, you might want to host it on a social crowdfunding site which is hosting a lot of other projects, and in some cases you might want to host your own. So that will depend on what your aims are. So we see a lot of cases where having your own site is going to be a big advantage, and we'll be covering that in a while. So that's the first point, that you have to choose the right site. The next point is you have to have a reasonable funding goal. Don't try to go for a fantastic goal that will be really difficult to achieve. Try and put something that is achievable. As the campaign targets starts getting reached, as you start getting closer to the target, there's a lot of excitement that builds up with the existing investors, and that helps promote campaigns in a big way. It's a big perk to see campaigns actually getting fulfilled. So setting a reasonable funding goal is definitely something that will help. Make sure your project description is completely descriptive. It tells people in detail about their projects. It's not something that's half-baked. Make sure you put enough thought into writing that description. Use photos and videos to increase the wow factor of your campaign. Let people get involved by identifying with your goal by seeing a nice video or a photo. In fact, generally it is seen that campaigns with videos work much better compared to ones without them. So that's definitely something you should invest time in doing. One more thing that you can do is you can offer perks to your donors and funders in return of their investments. You can reach out to the crowd by sharing the projects on social networks. So now that you have the project set up, it's important that you get it out and reach out to as many people as possible, and that's where social networks can help you really get to a lot of people. And finally, most importantly, convincing people that the world needs a dream like yours, that's the bottom line, right? So all the tools that you're going to get to do this is basically going to be about achieving that goal. So make sure you write your content, present it in a way that people are convinced that yes, this is something that everybody needs. So if you're running your own campaigns and not planning on starting your own niche crowdfunding site, should you use jGive to run your campaigns? So that's exactly the question I was talking about. So let's see where jGive can help you do some things better. So why not use an existing crowdfunding site? So one thing is that there are heavy losses in portal fees and payment gateway fees, which ranges from 4% to 15% depending on which crowdfunding site you end up using. There is a lack of how much you can customize and enrich your campaigns depending on what platform you're using. So at the end of the day, you won't have a lot of flexibility in customizing the campaign pages. It will be restricted by a few features that the platform offers. There is also a lack of how much you can integrate them with your own site. So let's say you already have a website and you're running a campaign on something like Kickstarter. Then there is a lot of limitations as to how tightly you can integrate the campaign with your own website. Whereas if you're doing it with your own thing like jGive, it can integrate really tightly. And compared to what you can do with your own solution, the amount of integration and customization is really limited in case of a hosted existing crowdfunding site as a platform. So there are some benefits obviously of using an existing crowdfunding portal, and that is basically, since the crowdfunding portal is hosting a lot of projects, you get the benefit of exposure on the entire site. So if you put something on Kickstarter, it is featured on their homepage and in various categories, which obviously is a good advantage for you. Then there is also a benefit of exposure in the portal's email and social media campaigns if it is offering that. But at the same time, remember that on an existing crowdfunding site, you are competing with other projects for the people's money. So that's another obvious negative. So let's look at today's presentation, which is going to be about jGive. And you can use this discount code JGCATJ20. You'll use this code and you can get up to 20% off on all Techjoomla extensions, not just jGive, for the next 48 hours. So make sure you take this opportunity. We don't give out large discounts too many times. So this is a good opportunity to buy some of our extensions if you're planning to do so. This is a good time to do it. So note that code once again, it is JGCATJ20. So I'm going on to the next slide now. So you can start your own crowdfunding site with Joomla and jGive, and it can be one of the most supremely powerful and customizable web applications that you'll end up building with very little work. So let's look at why using jGive is an advantage. So today jGive is one of the most comprehensive 360-degree crowdfunding and donation solutions for Joomla. We have evolved it while working with several non-profits who have been using it, as well as a lot of investment-related sites that have been using it. And our customers have played a huge role in helping us evolve jGive so fast to cover such a lot of various use cases and also comply with various regional laws which are related to investments and donations. So with jGive you are kind of covered. We have a lot of experience in doing this, and all that experience has gone into building this product. It is built with native Joomla MVC and is easily extendable and overridable, which means again a lot of customizations possible. It works with Joomla 2.5 as well as Joomla 3x. It supports multiple payment gateways, and that's a lot of payment gateways. I'll come to that in a while. And yes, it is awesome. I'm not kidding. This is just a small list. Once we actually start looking at the features, you will realize that jGive is seriously a serious bit of code that can do a lot of things for you. So like with all our extensions, we like to start the development of any extension with a very clear goal in mind. And with jGive, that is providing the best tools in the market to help non-profits and entrepreneurs harness the power of crowdfunding. That's the goal for jGive. And every single feature that goes into jGive goes with this thought in mind. And we believe that having a clear goal for any product definitely goes a long way in helping the customers as well. So let's dive into the awesome features jGive offers. So before we do that, do we have any questions that are generally related? If they are feature related, I will take them later. But if they are general, we can take a few now.
Yeah, you know, Richard posted a number of questions before the webinar began, and
Okay.
let's get to one or two of them right now. You let me know if you want to put it off till later or not. Richard wrote, if you bring outside donors into your website, should you charge based on the number of donations they receive or based on how long their campaigns are, or how long they advertise on your site for donations?
So this is really more of a strategy question, Richard. So from a feature perspective, jGive lets you charge based on the volume of the donation. So let's say you could charge them a flat $1 fee for a donation, or you could do $1 plus 1% of the donation fee. But what you can do is that with customization, you can actually build in a lot of loyalty parameters. Of course, that will be customization, and that's not in jGive by default, but with a little bit of customization, you should be able to do that. So let's say you have somebody who is really loyal and he's been posting all his campaigns here for, let's say, a year. You could basically probably give him a discount on the how much of a percentage that you charge him. So definitely those factors can come into play. It's really part of your business strategy for the website, and jGive can help you implement those strategies. So the answer to the question is, you should do something like that because that's a good business differentiator for you.
All right, very good. And are there any resources that you might be able to offer for strategies, developing a fundraising strategy?
We can actually. I won't be able to give that right now, but we are starting a blog series about this very soon.
Oh, cool.
So if you follow our blogs on Techjoomla, we are basically focusing on this, and we are also partnering with a few agencies who are really into non-profit strategy to
Great.
get these blog series out. So that will be an interesting thing to follow.
Super, yeah. One more question from Richard, and I'm going to answer it first, actually, and then let you jump in. Richard wrote, how much server space should you allocate to each outside donation campaign from an outside donor if your hosting depends on the amount of server space you have? And I'll just let you and everyone else know that if you're hosted with us at Cloud Access, we can scale your application for your traffic, and we can adjust your resources automatically. If you have more, if you need more resources, we can give them to you, and if you need less, you know, we can kind of downgrade the resources that you're using. So, Parth, do you have any other suggestion about server space?
Yeah. So I think from a server space perspective, in a crowdfunding situation, this is a multi-user application. So what is going to happen is that the only way they're going to use a lot of your server space is by uploading lots and lots of photos, and that's where you can put some limitations if you want by writing a custom plugin where you can probably restrict the number of photos, the total number of photos that they can put up or something like that. But as Ryan said, if it helps your goals, might as well offer, at least say that you offer unlimited space, and later on if that becomes too unmanageable or too costly for you, then probably you can put in a policy. And Cloud Access can always help you scale easily. So if that's not a big problem, then I would definitely let the donor have as much flexibility as they want in managing their campaign and putting their media up. But from a financial perspective, I would take that call based on how much that is costing you, and if you can recover that from the fees that you're charging.
All right, super. Hey, one more question from Greg. I think this will be a quick one. Greg wrote, I know you kind of mentioned compatibility with 3.0 there, but is jGive fully responsive, and does it work well with the Protostar template?
Yes, the current version, the latest version that we have is completely responsive, and it will work really well with Protostar. All
right, Greg. There's your answer. And Parth, let's get into some features.
Okay, cool. So let's dive into the awesome features jGive offers. So as we say, jGive is an open crowdfunding platform. With Joomla plus jGive, what you have is a completely powerful open crowdfunding platform. And the important, if you are seeing the chart on my screen, I have set this up mainly because so that you understand how the multi-user and multiple campaign things works. So what you see in green are the campaign owners. So this green guy here has 3 campaigns running, and he has lots of donors. He also has some donors that are donating to more than one campaign. So how does you as a site admin earn money? So what's happening is that, let's say this guy, gray guy here, is donating $100 to campaign 2. Then what is happening is that, let's say the site is charging a 10% commission. Then out of those $100, $90 of investment is going to the campaign 2 for the green guy, and $10 is fees for the admin. So you can have as many green guys as required to let everybody come on board and run as many campaigns as they want. Donors can donate across campaigns, which means that there's no restriction. Donors can just move freely across the site and donate anywhere they want. But if you want some customization, then what you can also do is that you can blank out everything else by doing some customization, such that, let's say you are promoting campaign 1, then they can't really access campaign 2 or campaign 3. So this is just an idea, it's not a feature of jGive, but depending on how you're strategizing stuff, you can do things like that with a little bit of customization. Then finally, the site can charge transaction fees, as I said, so that's how you make money. So multiple campaigns, multiple owners, and multiple donors. That's a key feature. Then you can do campaign categorization. So if you're running a big campaign website, then you will need categorization so that your end users can find the campaigns correctly. So even if you are a non-profit and you don't want to run external campaigns, then also jGive can be very useful. So for example, we have a client that is a non-profit that has their own internal projects where they want to be transparent with their donors and let them donate directly to a project. So even in that case, they're using jGive and they're running like something like 10-15 campaigns where the donors can directly come and donate. So it's a single user situation there. So you don't have these green guys, but you have one guy running all the campaigns. So jGive can also run in a single user mode. It doesn't have to always run in a multi-user mode. So even if you are a non-profit and you want to start accepting donations on your site, you can just go ahead and start using jGive in a single user mode. So coming back, campaign categorization, it's pretty important if you have a lot of campaigns. And we do nested categories so that you can do nested categories and better manage your campaigns. So on the front end, if you have a lot of campaigns, it's important that you have filters and ordering options so that users can easily find it. So what you're seeing is the new jGive category page or all campaigns page, and you can filter it by your country, state, city. You can also filter it depending on, I mean, these quick search options are again filters. So you can only see filtered, featured, successful, and other campaigns. You can also filter by campaign type, depending on whether it's a donation or investment campaign. And obviously you can filter by categories. Then you can also sort, as you see here. You can sort by created date, you can sort by ascending. There's quite a few options in there. And we'll see those in detail when we see the demo. And you'll see that this new design is pretty cool. It's completely bootstrapped. It's responsive as well. And it gives a nice look to all your campaigns. So this is the awesome pin layout, same screenshot. Pinterest styled layout, that's the pin layout. And what's another interesting thing is that you can see the status of each campaign. You can see how much it has been funded. You can see a nice progress bar as well there. Then each campaign gets its own photo gallery. Your campaign owners can add as many photos as required to this photo gallery, and we completely manage them and show them correctly to the end user. Then this is one more interesting thing. Why do donors donate? There are some people who are going to be really philanthropic and they won't want to remain anonymous, but a majority of your donors would like to show off that they gave a donation. So the donors window lets your donors show off. You can show complete details as well, but right now, to keep it simple, we show photos of all the donors, and if you hover on it, you will see the user and how much of a donation he made. And yes, while we are on that, those donors that want to remain anonymous, they can choose to do so. If they do, they are not shown here. Then there is a rich text editor to help you make your campaigns really look good. You can add additional videos and photos through the rich text editor as well if you want. But by default, jGive lets you add one campaign video and as many photos as you want using the photo gallery. And the rich text editor just extends this to let you do what you want in addition to that. So when you create a campaign, this is the campaign creation form. You can set a title, you set the campaign type, which can be donation or investment. Depending on what kind of site you have, you can switch this off or on. I mean, you can choose which ones you want to make available to your end users. Categories, as you have set it up. You can also customize some of these fields, which fields are shown and which are not. You can choose which type of organization or individual is donating. You can also set the goal amount for your campaign. And you can also set a minimum donation amount. So in some cases, depending on the fees that you're charging, people might want to make this $5 or $10 because $1 donations might just attract too many fees. So that can be set up by the campaign owner. As I was saying, it's important that you give something back to your donors. If it's a non-profit, then it might be something as simple as a cap or some kind of a souvenir for them to remember the campaign by. Whereas if it's an investment campaign, then we suggest giving something more interesting. So for example, if you're running a campaign to fund a project for a custom Raspberry Pi case, then that could be something that you can give back. So this definitely helps. We have seen this helps people donate more. They are more encouraged to donate since they're getting something back out of it. So the next point is we have super flexible site commissions, so that you as an admin can set up site commissions as a fixed commission, flat fee, and a percentage. So you can do $0 flat fee plus 10%, or you could do $2 flat fee plus 3.5%. So you can do whatever you want with that. So if you see this setting, you can be really flexible in defining the commissions. So there is also an option that if you're using PayPal and if you want to just provide the service and not take any commissions at all, then with PayPal it is possible that the payment directly goes to the campaign owner without you taking any kind of a cut or any kind of a commission. So this is only possible with PayPal. So that option is also there. And one more interesting development in this area is that if you want to charge commissions and you want to completely automate it, and if you have an account that can get you PayPal adaptive payments, then using that you can completely automate the givebacks as well. I'll come to what exactly a giveback is in a minute, but that's just something that's relevant so that you know that that can be done. There is a one-page checkout process for jGive. So with donations, as with any e-commerce, and especially with donations, it's extremely important that your checkout is fast. And with a one-page checkout, it's easily possible that, I mean, you don't want to make the donor wait. You want to complete the checkout as fast as possible. So this definitely helps. Next is guest donations. So just like for a fast checkout, you don't want to make the donor sign up in order to donate. So if you want to let him check out as a guest, you can switch this on, and the donor is allowed to check out as a guest. They don't really need to register and then or log in. They can just check out as guests. Then we also support PayPal recurring donations. So if you are using PayPal for your payment gateway, you can set up recurring donations. I can say that I want to donate $5 per month to a project. So we will soon be adding support for recurring payments in other gateways that support it as well. As of now, this is only supported with PayPal. Then, as I was talking about PayPal adaptive split payments, so with PayPal adaptive payments, what I can do is that instead of the money going from the donor to the site admin and then the admin manually sending those funds back to the campaign owner, with PayPal adaptive, we can instantly split the payment into 2 or 3 parts. So let's say if a donor is making an investment of $200 and the fees owed to the site owner are $20, then we can make instant payments of $180 to the campaign owner and $20 to the admin for his fee. So this becomes extremely useful if you're running a multi-user site and you don't want to handle the problems that come associated with managing all the payouts and stuff. Then PayPal adaptive can be your answer, and it can manage all the payouts instantly for you. So as I was saying, we have lots and lots of payment gateways supported. jGive uses the common payments API that has been donated by Techjoomla to the open source community, and as of today we support something like around 25 payment gateways. I'm just going to read out a few of these. This presentation is going to be available later, so you can read those in detail, and this is also available on our product landing page. So we have PayPal, of course, we have 2Checkout, we have Amazon, Authorize.net, CC Avenue, ePay Denmark, eWay, eWay Rapid, PagSeguro, Ozone, LinkPoint, Paymill, PayFast, Transfirst. That's just a few of them. And we also have some special payment gateways, so you can also let people pay using alpha user points or JomSocial points. And e-wallet is another Techjoomla extension that we are coming out with in the next few months. So that's like a site cash balance kind of a thing. So it also supports that. So as we discussed earlier, when you're creating a campaign, it is possible to add media to the campaign. You can add the main campaign image. You can also add a campaign video from YouTube or another provider, and you can also add a photo. And you can choose whether you want to use the image or the video as the main promotional image for your campaign. So, and as you'll see under the gallery images, you can have multiple images. You can just use the add more to add as many as you want. Then there is an easy way to manage your campaigns. The My Campaigns view shows a list of all your campaigns. It also shows a quick report as to what the goal amount is and against which how much has been received. You can also see how many donors have contributed to that amount till now. Then we have a very strong sharing engine. It's not a sharing engine per se, but basically jGive integrates very tightly with OG tags. So we have OG tag support throughout, and we support native Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus sharing, as well as we have add this for if you want a whole lot of sharing options. Then you can also switch on add this, which offers like lots of them, probably 50 plus. Then we have a very nice looking campaign details page and a good design, which I mean, a good design goes a long way in making people feel comfortable about your project and making them feel confident enough to donate for it. So the campaign details page has a nice tabbed view. It gives a quick status of the campaign on the home page. You can see how many has been raised, so how much money has been raised so far. A nice progress bar shows that visually as well. It shows how much percent of the campaign is funded. It also shows how many days are left for the campaign to end. And it will state clearly here if the funding type is donation or investment. And there's a quick donate button here where you can go on to donate. Then there are tabs to show the photo gallery, the campaign promoter, and the donors. And all these views, as I said, we use native Joomla MVC. It's extremely powerful. And with this, you can completely override any view you want to customize the look of jGive to your project. And I'll show you a couple of sample client sites in a while where you'll see that they have transformed jGive in a very nice way. So this is the campaign video. You can put videos from YouTube or Vimeo, and you can feature that as the main marketing object, and then you'll see the video. In this case, you see the image as being the main campaign object. So then you'll see that we have tabs here. So there is a campaign details, photo gallery, donor report, campaign promoter, and donors. So this page shows the description and giveback details. So actually, if you scroll down on this page, as I will show you in the demo, you'll see the campaign description below it and also all the givebacks that are available for this campaign right next to it. The My Campaigns view we already saw. I think this is a duplicate. Again, as I said, it gives you a quick view as to what is the status of your campaigns. Now for donors, there's also a My Donations view where they see all the donations they have made to date. You'll see that you'll see your donation ID, you'll see the status of the donation. So these are pending right now, the date when you made the donation, and what the amount was. Then there is also My Payouts. So My Payouts is so typically if you're not using adaptive payments, then what happens is that in a multi-user scenario, what is going to happen is that, let's say it's a $100 donation, then those $100 are going to go to the site admin first, and then we have a payouts manager that will let the admin send out that money in pieces. So let's say there was let's say there are $500 collected for a user, then the admin can choose to do payouts of $200 or $300, however he sees fit, and the payout manager will do the calculations and everything so that it's easy for him to add the payout entries. So with the payouts manager, the admin can effectively manage what payouts have gone out. The actual payment of the payout, unless you are using PayPal adaptive payments, has to be done manually outside the system, but all the records are maintained inside the system. And what you see in front of you right now is a payout view for a particular campaign owner. So you'll see that this is one payout that he has received of $20, another payout of $4, and as of today, total amount that is pending to be paid out is $1,770. Total amount paid is $24. So looks like the admin has paid extra, which is why you'll see that the amount remaining to be paid out is negative. So the admin has this ability to pay out extra if he wants to in special cases, but then it will be adjusted against future payouts. There's a very nice campaigns module as well. So modules typically give you a lot of flexibility in showing your campaigns on various parts of your website, and with Joomla you get a lot of flexibility in showing the module wherever you want, with tons and tons of template positions being provided by the template that you end up using. So the campaign has a lot of modes. You can set the module to be running in various modes. Depending on the module type that you choose, you can choose what that module will do. So I will show you that. You can also set a lot of variables according to which the module will show what type of campaigns. You can order by start date, you can order by created date, you can choose the ordering direction, you can choose how many campaigns to show, you can choose if you want to show the image or not, you can choose only to show featured modules in the featured campaigns in the module. So for example, if you have a you can basically set up a jGive or donations homepage by creating 2 or 3 copies of these modules, which are set to run in different ways. Then we also have a donations module, and that's just one more mode in which this module can be used. You can show the top donations for your site and give them good footage. Then other modes that we have available is my donations, recent donations, top donations. Now jGive is extremely flexible. It has an extensive configuration. I'm not going to go through all those in a text heavy slide and bore you with it, but I'll just give you a quick snapshot of what all can be configured, and once we look at a demo you will get a good hang of it. So jGive is a social campaign tool, so it is not necessary that you have a social extension, but if you have something like CB, JomSocial, JomWall or Easy Social, jGive can integrate very tightly with these social extensions. This means I'll come to it. We have a specific slide on that, so I'll cover that later. But with that social integration, if you have a donor who has a CB account or a JomSocial or Easy Social account, then all his fields will be auto-filled. Let's say the billing fields. Then you can do social sharing settings so that all donations are automatically pushed to the walls of the social networking extensions, so that your campaign can inherently go viral. You can set up campaign media settings, you can set the file sizes and all that. You can have a configuration to decide commissions in a very flexible way. You can do payment related settings, order ID related settings. You can also do PayPal mass payments configuration. So if you want to automate payouts, and if you have an account that already has PayPal mass payments available on it, then this can be used. But recently PayPal has stopped approving new mass payment accounts, so now we recommend that you go with adaptive payments rather than mass payments. But if you have an old account in PayPal which has mass payments already, then you can leverage this. So again, a quick view for the admin. This is an all campaigns view. It shows a snapshot view of all the campaigns on the site. The admins can edit, publish or feature any campaign from the backend itself. Then we also have a Campaignwise report that is shown. So that's a bird's eye view of all the campaigns running, with total donations made, total amounts that have gone as commission, as well as what is the amount remaining to be paid out. So all that can be shown to the admin in a quick snapshot. And we also give a quick quick snapshot which shows the total amount paid out and the amount remaining to be paid out. So if you're wondering what this column is about, so if you have set that PayPal option where you can directly pay the donors instead of accepting site commissions, then that will come up here. But if you're accepting site commissions, then it will always be in this format. Then there is a payouts report that can be used to quickly see and quickly give out payouts without really bothering to do any calculations yourself. The payouts manager is very intelligent and can automatically calculate the payouts that are owed to certain users, and it will let you add payout entries very easily from here. Then we have a donations report which shows all the donations on the site. We have all the standard filters for it where you can filter this report by campaign and all that, so that if you want to see what are the actual donations that went into making a campaign successful, as an admin you can see that report. A word of caution there though, depending on what kind of policies you have with your end users, you might want to switch this off for even the admin to see. So for example, if you have some kind of a privacy policy which says that you won't actually look at what donations are coming in for your end users, then it would be a good idea to switch this off for your site. So the next part is the recommended integrations. Before we actually get into this, I'd like to go on to a short demo, and before we even do that, if there are any questions, I can take that right now.
Sure, yeah, I think, a number of the questions that have shown up are strategy questions. Let's get to one from Hashim. Hashim has written, so would jGive allow you to give members the ability to raise funds and then charge those members a monthly fee for that ability? I think you've answered that one, haven't you?
I have, but I think he's talking about a monthly fee. So jGive doesn't give you the ability to charge a monthly fee, but what you can do is you can integrate something like pay plans that will let you sell a site subscription, and only if they have that monthly fee paid, then only they can create campaigns. So with the integration with pay plans, that is possible. But the way jGive lets you earn money is by charging commissions on each transaction rather than charging a flat fee. The reason for doing that is that when you are hosting a site like this, you have payment gateway fees to think about. So let's say you decided that I'll charge $30 per month for this service and not charge a transaction fee at all. Then what will happen is that, let's say for a $100 donation, PayPal will charge you something like $6 or $7 as a fee. And then who is going to pay that fee if you don't transfer that to the end user? So that is the reason we recommend that you do transaction fees to at least get your payment gateway costs covered. And then probably what you can do is that you can say that if you have a subscription, then your jGive fees are going to be, let's say, just 5%. But if you don't have a paid subscription, then we are going to charge you 12% or 15%. So with a pay plans integration, something like that is definitely possible. And you can do a mix and match.
All right, hopefully, Hashim, that answers the question. I'm going to get back to one of the questions from Richard. Richard posted, other than the fees, can you charge outside donors who set up donor campaigns on your website?
I think the answer to that would be the same that we gave Hashim. So
okay.
If you want to charge a flat fee for them to, let's say, a monthly fee or a weekly fee or a daily fee, then something like pay plans can help with that. And that's the way I would do it rather than charging them per campaign, because rather than an upfront fee, people will prefer a transaction fee that jGive already offers.
All right. Richard writes, what are the advantages of bringing outside donor parties to advertise on your website as opposed to setting up your own private donor campaigns? Is this what you talked about with like a crowdsourcing site?
Right. So Richard, there are already sites that are basically doing things like this. So there are two situations here. So if you're a non-profit and you want to raise funds for your own site, then you don't really need the multi-vendor approach. There is no real big advantage for you to bring in outside people that will host campaigns on your site unless you're going to earn something out of it. So if you're a non-profit looking at raising funds for your own site, don't use the multi-vendor mode in jGive, just use it in the single vendor mode, because in that case you don't want to distract people from donating to you and make them donate to somebody else. But let's say if you're running a niche crowdfunding site, let's say I want to raise funds for church websites. So I could set up a niche website that basically helps churches raise money, and then different churches will sign up on the site and pay me a fee for it. In that case, you would use it in a multi-vendor mode. Does that answer your question?
We'll see if we hear back from Richard about that.
Okay.
He says yes. So I'm going to get to one more question here from Greg. Greg writes, how do you handle one large goal with multiple events to reach an overall goal?
So what you're looking at doing is that, are you using events to basically, so we did a integration recently between JTicketing and jGive, where so when you say events, I'm assuming you're using events from a selling tickets perspective, and I'll answer that based on that, and if there is something different then you can just come back. So recently we did an integration between jGive and JTicketing where a ticket was offered as a give back. So what you could do is that you could donate $30 for a campaign and get a standard ticket to an event, to a charity event, and you could donate $60 and you could get an event ticket which also gave you food at the event. So there what they were doing was they were running jGive and JTicketing hand in hand, and basically a donation would effectively give them a ticket to an event. So in that case, basically they were running lots of events and campaigns together. So if you set up 5 campaigns with goals of $500 each, we don't have any module as such out of the box that will show you the summation of all those goals, but that's an easy custom development that can be done. So if you want to show a module that shows overall funding status on the site for all the campaigns, let's say, that should be easy to build. So let's say it says that the total campaigns on the site are worth $100,000, and out of that total funds raised across the campaigns is, let's say, $50,000. Something like that, a module like that should be pretty simple to build. And if you're looking for a customization request to do that, you can just send us an email and we can help you with that.
All right. Greg responded that he's looking for a specific type of sale. He says he wants to have a cook-off and a tree sale. Greg, I really don't know what that means, a tree sale. I think we're getting into...
Greg, yeah, probably if Greg can just direct those questions to me later on Twitter, or probably contact me for a Skype chat, I'll be happy to help him.
Yeah, because we're talking more about strategy, aren't we?
A little bit, yeah.
A little
There's
bit.
some of it, yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get back to some more demo if you want, or do you want to just stick with questions? Okay.
We can start with the demo, and you can collect some questions and we can come back to in 5 minutes after I do a little bit of the demo. Does that work?
Yep, that works. Perfect.
Okay. So let's look at the trend first. So I'm going to log in. There you go. So you'll see that right now what you see on the right here is the jGive campaigns module. You also see the jGive top donations module that is there here. You'll see the various menus that are available. So I'm going to go to all campaigns first. So you'll see all the donation campaigns that are available on the site are seen here. Can you hear me? I'm getting an alert that there might be reduced audio performance.
No, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. So this is the all campaigns page. You can drill down to a specific campaign. You can also use our filters right here to do specific drill downs. You can also do sorting, as I said, by a lot of options. Let's go into the Save Animals campaign. So you'll see that this is a campaign details page, very rich looking. You also have a photo gallery. You have a donors report. So since I own this campaign, that is why I'm seeing this. But if I don't own it, I won't be able to see it. I'll be able to see this donors tab. And so right now we only have one donor for it. And this gives more information about the campaign promoter. And I can also browse to other campaigns owned by this promoter by clicking on this button. You'll see that since I own this campaign, I'm also getting the edit button, and then I see the donate button. So I can also donate to my own campaigns. That's something that was requested by a client, and that is why we put that in. And as I showed you earlier, it shows a full statistic. You'll see that this campaign has going over the goal. So that's another interesting feature, that you can allow campaigns to surpass their goal. The goal was just $2,500, but this campaign has earned $5,360. So you'll see that it's funded 214%. So you can either switch this on or off if you want. You can say that you don't want campaigns to be overfunded as well, and that's possible. So the My Campaigns view that I showed you in the screenshot, this shows me a quick snapshot of all my campaigns. Then I see the donations I have made to the various projects here. You'll see some of them are pending, some are confirmed. I didn't really complete the checkout on some. Then I see the payouts that the admin has made to me. So right now there are no payouts, so I'll show you how a payout is created on the admin, and then we can see that. So let's try making a donation first. I'm just going to use module here to go to the Go Green Save Earth campaign, and I'm going to click on the donate button. Oh yeah, so cool. This guy has a giveback as well, so you'll see that there is a giveback, and that is how that is seen. So let's go ahead and donate. So you'll see that the donation checkout is showing the checkout form. I need to fill out the donor details, but since we have an integration here, a lot of those fields are already filled out. So I just need to fill out the missing ones. I can set up the address. So if you have JomSocial, CB, Easy Social, or JomWall, and you have some of these fields there, then you can have these auto-filled by mappings that we have. And if you don't see a city, you can also suggest one by using this. You can set up a donation amount. So let's say I want to donate $300. I can choose whether it's going to be one time or recurring. So if I do recurring, I can choose whether that is going to be $300 daily, weekly, monthly, or annually, or quarterly, and how many years I want it to be, years or months I want to donate. So I'm going to set it to one time right now, and I can choose to donate anonymously, as I said. So that's an option. So I can continue, and here we have 3 modes of payment that are switched on right now. So I'm going to just choose, say, pay by check, because I haven't got live payment set up on this demo. So pay by check is an offline payment method, which means that the admin will need to confirm that donation when he actually receives the check in the email and it actually gets processed. Let's go to the admin and see what happens. So there we are in the Joomla backend, and I'm going to go to jGive. So let's look at the donations. My donation should be in now. Yeah, here it is. So you'll see that there is a $300 donation, and there was a commission of $300.85 on it. And now that, let's say, I have received the check, I can mark it as confirmed. So while that happens, see that my donation is confirmed now. And what I can do now is that I can go to my donations and also see that that donation has gone through. That's the $300 donation. So now you saw that there were no payouts made to me for the campaigns that I own. So let me show you a quick review of the payouts manager. Again, I'm going to the backend for this. So the payout report is showing that I owe this guy $5,319. So I don't have that much money right now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to only pay a part of it to him. So when I set up a new, so this is a new payout I'm going to do. I can select a payee. So this is the guy I owe a lot of money to. No, this is the guy there's not much money to give out to him. That's just $177. So this money is automatically calculated as the total dues that are pending at this point. So we saw that oh, this guy I owe $5,142. So let's get some of that cleared out. Let's say I'm gonna make this payment via my bank, and there is a transaction ID. Let's say I just made that payment, and I'm adding that record here. So I made payment of, let's say, $1,000 out, and I set it to paid. I'll save and close it. So that payout is out, and so you'll see that the payout has been made. And I think I screwed something up because I think I wrote 0.1 instead of the $1,000. So it was only a 10-cent payout. So I just need to go back and make another payout. So however, you should have got what I mean by this. So this is the transaction ID, this is the date. So this is, remember that this is just a record. And I'm just going to pay out the entire thing to the admin. And now the overall payout value that I had for this guy was this much. I have paid all of that out. You'll see that now nothing is owed to me, the entire amount has been paid out. So this is the payouts manager. If you're using adaptive payments, this becomes entirely automated. Then this is just a repeat of the screenshots that we saw, but there's a Campaignwise report where you can see a complete snapshot of how the payments have come in and have gone out. This is the category manager. Then you have campaign management. And then there is the actual donations as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the control panel and show you the configuration that is available, because that's something that's I didn't want to really cover in a lot of slides. It's best that you see it actually. So you'll see that we have lots of social integration options in case you want to integrate. Otherwise, by default, it is set to Joomla. We have Community Builder, JomSocial, JomWall, and jSocial as options for social integrations. You can also force users to complete their profile before they create a campaign. So in case you want to do that, that's possible. If you are doing a social integration, you can autofill jGive form fields from that profile of that user from JomSocial, CB, jSocial, or JomWall. So that we fill them out correctly, there is a mapping that you can do here for Joomla, JomSocial, CB, and jSocial. Then you can set the default country for your forms here on the front. You can choose if you want to allow donations or investments or both here. You can turn on admin approval for any changes to campaigns. So you can do it such that any changes to campaigns can have to be approved, and any new campaigns have to be approved as well. You can enable terms and conditions for donations. You can set up the IDs for that. You can have different terms and conditions for donations and investments. Then you can choose to hide some fields on the front end, and you can just set those fields here. These fields can be hidden on the front end if you want. By default, all of them are there, but if you don't want to show some of them, then you can hide them from here. You can enable social sharing, as I said, either with native or add this. You can set up your add this publisher ID here. And as I said, you have a lot of flexibility in what you allow for the media. You can choose how many number of images you want to allow in the image gallery, what should be the maximum image size, what should be the dimension of the smaller images, and all that. Extensive configuration here. Then we have payment settings, so you can set up multiple email addresses to get notifications about all the donations happening on the site, in addition to the standard admin users who are receiving notifications. You can enter currencies, whatever currency you want, you can set it up here. You can choose how you want to show the amount on the front end. So is it going to be $360 or 360 followed by the $sign? You can do it using this configuration. You can choose to send payments directly to campaign promoter. In case of PayPal, that's this option. This is the commission option. Then if you're in a European country where you need VAT invoices, then you can set up some VAT options here so that the donor can also set up VAT registration so that VAT invoices can be given. You can choose whether you want to do guest donations or yes or not. You can choose whether recurring donation should be allowed or not. Another interesting thing that we have is that depending on the Joomla user group, you can choose what should be the commission percentage. So I think somebody asked a question a little while back that you want to do different commission amounts percentages depending on what group it is. So you can set that up here. You can set up multiple fees depending on what group it is from. So you can set up a PayPal integration that when you buy a premium subscription, you go to a premium group and that gets a lower fee. And you can set up a plain subscription that gets a higher fee. So that's possible with that. You can configure how you want your order ID to look using this configuration here. And then as I said, if you're lucky, one of those old lucky people who have an old PayPal account with PayPal Mass Pay, you have the option of using PayPal Mass Pay for payments. So that's what we have on the back end. And I think we can go back to further questions now, unless there is something very specific you want to see in the demo.
Well, you just mentioned PayPal, and Richard brought up PayPal too. He wrote, I'm going to use PayPal as an admin. Can I set the donation or part of it to go to the donor's PayPal account? That is, who's going to set up the campaign?
You mean the campaign owner's account? Yes, you can. With PayPal Adaptive, that is possible to do that automatically. If you use regular PayPal, then all the money will come to you and you will use a Payouts manager to send some money back to the campaign owner.
All right, and a question from Hashim again. Those avatars can be replaced with pictures, right, to show off donors?
Yes, right now it's an avatar, but if you have JomSocial CD or whatever, then they can be actual pictures of people.
Cool. And an interesting question from George. Is it possible to manage donations of goods or services instead of money?
Oh, that's an interesting one. So it would be good, George, if you can email me about this as to how you are trying to do this and what exactly, how it would work. So let's say somebody is donating fruit or something like that. So ideally it is possible. It would need some customization. We'll definitely give this thought. It's a good feature request, I would say. If you want to chat about it later, I would love to discuss this more in detail with you so that we can understand what you're looking at achieving, and we can definitely put this on a feature tracker for future releases.
All right.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hashim, another question, just wants to clarify, can we use jGive in a member site to raise money for ourselves, and also we can use it for members to help them raise money on their own?
Absolutely you can. So in a member site, you are also one of the members. So let's say the admin runs his own campaigns and also lets his members run campaigns. So that's completely possible.
Okay, and then I think another, maybe this is a functionality question, but Richard posted, do you have to set a campaign goal, how much you want to collect, or can the campaign goal be open-ended?
No, it can't be open-ended. You have to set some goal, but we can let you over achieve that goal. So probably you can set $1,000 goal, and basically donors are allowed to donate over that goal. But what you could do probably is that if you don't want to show it on the front end, you could do a template override and just hide it.
Okay. Hopefully that helps to answer the question, Richard. Greg posted a question. Can the payment form be simplified to a single form without the AJAX? I find that this form is still too complicated and sometimes gets stuck.
Okay. Yes. I mean, ideally you could simplify it. So let's say the only reason we have a little bit of a longer form is that in some countries when you are accepting donations, you have to accept some donor details, and that is the reason that form has those fields. If we can find out where it's getting stuck, we can help you out, and what we can also probably do is that in future versions maybe have a non-AJAX form, but since there are some cases there, it is necessary to have that AJAX. But if you can tell me a specific case, we'll try and help you out with that and solve the problem for you.
All right. I think a lot of specific cases. And how would you like those folks like George and Greg to follow up? Do you want them to use the Contact Us form on your page?
That would be perfect. That's the best way to get to us.
Great. And Let's see. Let's take one last question, folks. Let us know if you have other questions. We've got a little bit more time, but Richard posted about receipts. He writes, does the person who makes a donation, should they get a receipt? Does
Yes, he does get an invoice for the donation.
Okay. And Greg posted another question. Is there a plan to add photos to givebacks?
Yes, it is planned. It's already on the feature tracker. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So are you going to talk about some
Yes,
the future here?
Yeah. So there is a slide about the future, and we also have some slides left, which I will quickly take you through.
Great.
So you can take jGive to the next level by using our recommended integrations. So we have a JomSocial integration that lets you do a lot of cool stuff. So you basically we have a profile plugin that lets you show the user's campaign on his own page. So just to give a bit of history, jGive was initially called as JomGive. This was an extension that we bought out from core PHP, and we completely rewrote it. So back in those days, you could only do donations of a user's campaign. So this plugin lets you still do that with the more advanced jGive. You can set up a plugin on the user's campaign, and you can see all his campaigns right there, and click the donate button. Then we have activity stream integration for all social extensions. So any new campaign that is created, any new donations that are added are always synced with the social stream of the extension that you're using. And if you have broadcast, which is another extension that we have, then everything that is pushed to your social stream also can get synced to your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn profiles. So that kind of integration can really help your campaigns go viral. Next, this is one of the things that we have had people ask us for a long time, and this came in a couple of versions back, which is group donations for JomSocial. So let's say you have a group in JomSocial and you want to run a campaign together as a group. So we have an integration for that now, and you can start group specific campaigns or investments with the group's integration. And what you're seeing here is the campaigns being shown on a group page right now. Then, as I said, we also have an easy social integration. So it shows the campaigns owned by the user on his own profile. And we also have activity stream integration, just like we have for JomSocial. Easy Social doesn't have groups yet, but as I hear from Mark, that's coming real soon. And as soon as that comes out, we'll also integrate that. Then same community builder, we have activity stream integrations as well as profile features to show the profiles on the CB page. Then finally, like in all our extensions, we really love working with other developers, and all our extensions are built so that developers can integrate them easily. We also have a Joomla services business, so we know how hard it can get to integrate extensions easily and override them if they're not written well. So all our extensions have lots and lots of plugin triggers at all the right places. We are always willing to add more plugin triggers if you need any new ones, so that you can extend our extensions without really hacking into any core code. All our views can be easily extended and overridden as well, so that's an advantage of using a Techjoomla extension. As I said, there is a broadcast integration where all your jGive activities can be automatically synced to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts to help take your campaign viral. And this will happen right now if you have broadcast integrated with JomSocial or CB or your own Easy Social profile. But we are going to come out with a direct broadcast integration as well, where even if you don't have any social extensions, direct broadcasting of all donation and investment activities can happen as well. Then we also have InviteX integration, where you can use InviteX to let users invite people to donate and invest in their campaigns. And with InviteX, you get powerful tools like CSV invitations, OAuth supported contact imports from social networks and email invitations, and really get the word out about your campaign really quickly. So what do we have coming next with jGive? So that's the future. We have native comments and likes coming for jGive very soon. We are also going to have campaign activity streams, which means that you can keep posting latest updates about your campaigns and keep all your donors updated about what's going on with it. We're going to support pledging as well. So if you haven't heard about that, with pledging, the way it works is that you can pledge an amount, and then the donation is only taken if the campaign goal is reached. So that's something that's coming. And as I said, social broadcasting with direct broadcast integration is something else that is planned. So if we have any more questions, I think we're ready to take them now.
You know what? No more questions at this time. Hashim says,
Okay.
oh, actually, sorry. We do have one from Greg, and it is, how do I access the documentation for extending jGive?
We have a document for that. I will just quickly give you a link. So if you go to techjoomla.com and you go to jGive, and we have the documentation and FAQs section.
All right, Greg. Greg,
So
hopefully
you
that
can
helps you.
just check it out here. Yeah.
Cool. And one last time before I steal the presentation back, would you mind showing that coupon code again?
Absolutely, I'll do that. Yeah, that's JGCAT J20.
Excellent. That's huge savings, 20%. Excellent. That's on all Techjoomla products too, guys. Don't forget. Hashim says, thanks. You've cleared up all questions. And George says, great. Thank you for your answer. Thanks. George has shared his email address with you, but I'm going to steal the presentation back. I'm going to show them how to use that contact form.
Perfect.
Yeah, so everyone should be able to see my screen at this point. This is techjoomla.com. Just come to About Us and come to Support, and then come to Contact Us. And use this contact form to get a hold of Parth. They're really active. They've got great support, and you can get them online all the time, too, if you're at Techjoomla, or tweet at Techjoomla, or hit them up on Facebook. They'll get back to you as well. So let me see. Just remind you that this is a recording of this webinar. Again, will be available a little bit later today on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CloudAccess. Scroll down to the special webinars playlist here, and there are, I think this is our 4th Techjoomla webinar we've done with Parth and the guys there. Parth, thanks so much for doing this again.
Yeah, this is fun. It's a lot of fun to interact with so many people who are interested in the products.
Yeah.
And thanks a lot, CloudAccess, for hosting us. You have been awesome.
Well, we appreciate it. It's a pleasure. And let's see, what else did I want to show you? Oh, just our website one more time again, CloudAccess.net. If you'd like to launch a free demo trial, come to CloudAccess.net. Experience our training, come to our webinars, register for another webinar. We hope to see you in one soon. Richard says, thanks, Parth, for answering our questions. Feel free to follow up. Richard, I know you had a lot of them. Maybe a few went unanswered. Follow up with Parth at techjoomla.com. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you for attending.